Welcome to Hotep-ISH with your host Dewan Brown. Yeah, Angel laughing. I changed the name of this title. I changed the title to the show because I wanted to more so get a caption of what we talk about. But at the same time, the word Hotep for some reason is taking on a negative connotation over the last 4 or 5 years, and I want to bring it out and bring a positive connotation to it with a funny and informative show.
You know what happened to me today?
What happened?
Literally today, I was playing Friends with Words. You know that game? Right?
Words with Friends?
Yeah. Words with Friends.
Yeah.
And I fucking spelled it, bro, and it said, not a word.
Not a word.
It said not a word. I had the right letters. I spelled it, bro, and they said not a word.
You know the cool part about that? Hotep is a word, and it means peace. That's really what it means. It means peace and, brotherhood, basically.
It was not a part of the game.
And
it's not
old word from the oldest languages.
Yeah.
Any language that predates English by tens of thousands of years.
Now let me get the name again. Is Hope-ish?
Hotep-ish.
Hotep.
Hotep-ish. Yes. Because it's like Hotep. Yeah, but we talking that ish. You know what I mean?
Hotep. What's the whole part?
Ain't no Hotep. She said, what's the whole? Good Lord. That's a great intro.
There's got to be
for my guests for the evening.
If anything, successful,
you heard her talking. She funny as hell and ignorant. How she gonna teach kids that she ignorant like this? Watch your kids.
Oh, don't dry snitch now.
You've heard her here on the show before, back when it was the D Brown Hour.
Hey, that's how I relate to my students.
Yeah.
I got street cred.
Her name is Angel Gaines in the building.
Gaines.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. Also in the building, we got as regular as he can be.
Thank you,
this
sir.
dude be
Thank
busy
you.
as hell. So whenever he's free on a Thursday, this is where he is.
I love it, man.
Host of the Mike Robertson Boulevard.
Thank you, sir.
Clap it up
Thank
and
you.
say what's up to
What up, party people?
Robertson. I still be saying clap it up because like in my head, I'm hosting a comedy show sometimes in my head. Like when you doing comedy, you want the audience to clap it up. But on the radio, y'all listening on iHeartRadio right now. You ain't clapping when you driving.
Hey, but them claps came in right on Tism.
Oh yeah, the claps. We got J Cool over here, James. He on the engineering board.
Yeah,
sound staging it up for us.
Let it be known you didn't tell him to bring the claps in. He was listening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He was listening. He's focused over there. Yeah, so that's what we got going on here.
Well, I was excited to come tonight, Dwan, because I know you have been in the news, and I know you got something to say about every single thing because it's so much.
Man, it's a lot going on in the news, and I definitely want you to bring up some shit too. All right, this is free form, you know.
But I like your takes too.
So first off, we're gonna start with the news that's been the news of the week.
All right.
Amber Geiger. Murderer, we can say murderer now because she's been convicted.
That's true.
Murderer of Botham Jean walked into his house while he was eating a bowl of ice cream and killed him. She got convicted and sentenced to 10 years in jail, which she'll probably. Then the worst part about it, she didn't go right to jail. The bailiff, stroked her hair. And then the judge read a Bible verse to her and gave her a hug. And then the brother came out and then it was like a scene from Gone with the Wind.
The black dude stroked her hair though, right?
No, it was the black. That was a bailiff woman that stroked her hair.
Oh, it was a woman. Okay.
Yeah, that was a woman.
I saw the black dude.
And if you go back, I don't have the video right now, but if you go back and watch the video, you see her supervisor is a white guy kind of sitting to the back. You see him with a bald spot, and you see him point. And as soon as he points, she starts stroking her hair. So it looked to me like something orchestrated. There ain't no conspiracy shit. Look it up for yourself. You see him point, and then you see her start stroking her hair. Then the judge comes over and gives her a mammy hug. Then the brother.
I thought the brother was first.
And then after the brother, the
judge.
The judge. And then today in the news, the dad came out and said that he'd like to one day meet Amber Geiger.
Wow.
So what we have is, which way do you want to coon this?
Well, the thing that's the shame of it all is that because she is convicted for murder as she should be. She murdered this motherfucker. She walked in his house. Look, bro, I don't care if you blindfolded. Do you know your smell right when you open the door? Like, damn, this
The
ain't my
smell
house.
of your home.
Right,
This is not my house, my nigga. I don't care if it's
It was
pitch
too
black.
much seasoning and jerk chicken for that to be your house, Amber Geiger.
Yeah.
You know you don't use salt.
Especially with her being her and him being him, his shit smell way different, goddamn it.
Man,
you know it.
yes.
So you killed this motherfucker. You killed him, and you should be going to jail. So the shame of it all is that we are surprised that she's going to jail, because that's what it is. I figured she would get off.
Good point.
I figured she would get off, and she is going to jail, like she should.
Nobody talked about why she was so distracted and going into the wrong apartment. You know, she was texting her married boo and preparing to go over there to see him.
And
So her distraction level was on 10, but the media now had that
No,
been,
wait, what?
Yeah.
She was going to see the black dude?
No. She
was texting her married partner.
She got
Her
a
partner.
married dude. She a side chick. And she was texting him back and forth, sexting. And that's what made her not pay attention to going into her apartment, because she was going in to rush to go and meet him to change.
Yeah.
But my point is that I feel like white women are forever in America the victim. If you look at that footage in the court, it looks like y'all did something to her. And
Yeah.
everybody was apologizing because we made her go in that man's house and kill him. They're forever the victim when it comes to the courthouses. And I don't think she's going to do 10 years.
I don't either.
But now
She's
watch
not gonna do
this.
5.
If this was an athlete or somebody else, they would have drug him or her, especially a black woman, if they found out that she was sexting with a married man.
Yeah, drug to the
It would have brought up everything.
Let me add a layer to this that isn't being addressed also. Her married partner that she was sexting, also killed a black man in 2008.
See?
Did you know? Do you remember the black guy who the black police officer who was testifying and said that he didn't think it was murder on the stand? The brother that worked.
That was her dude?
No, that wasn't her dude. But
was a part of
he
it.
also killed someone through a car accident, hit him in the car. So you had 3 police officers
That's in their culture,
involved
bro.
in this trial
It's in their culture,
that
though.
killed someone.
It's in their culture.
And then let's cross reference that. Let's add another layer. What about the text messages that were uncovered during when her talking about Dr. Martin Luther King? Do we have to leave this shit and he's this and that?
Yeah.
And then we're not even gonna go back to there was before the internet was, because the internet was scrubbed, but Melanoid Nation, Tariq's website, Tariq Nasheed's website, found some pictures of her before they scrubbed it, holding up that OK sign. You know, the one that came out that they officially said this week is a hate symbol. There are pictures of her and her family holding up that sign. And then let's also cross reference that with the fact that Dallas PD just recently had like 21 officers suspended for racism. You know what I mean? So it looks like we have a systematic thing going on
and
here.
Check this out. The judge was supported by the Dallas Police Department. They brought up the photos of her when campaigning, thanking them for their support.
They were major contributors. She was backed by the police department. Is that a conflict of interest, Mike? To have the police and the judge, the police backing any judicial candidate?
I totally think it's a conflict.
Man, I mean, yeah, that's a simple one to point out right there. Easy, yeah.
But it's legal.
Easy call. The whole shit is designed as a conflict, though, man. Because, look, here's the thing. It's a simple thing they do, right? They don't fight crimes no more.
No.
All they do is go get all your friends and threaten them all with 30 years. Somebody tells, as they probably should, why the fuck am I going to do 30 years? Somebody snitch on you, it's a wrap, right? They don't do it no more. Now, let's flip it. When they do crimes, which they do every day, right? abusing people's rights and shit, abusing people's rules and shit, all that shit. When they do that shit, man, don't nobody arrest nobody.
No,
they don't arrest them. They know them.
And then
Everybody
their own internal affairs. They have their own internal affairs department. Like IA's like, imagine you doing your taxes and you the IRS and can audit yourself.
Right.
What would you do?
Right.
I would pay the least amount possible.
We got somebody on the line right now. What's up? Who's calling in right now?
It's your worst nightmare.
Ah, shit. We got this sorry son of a bitch.
Hey, you know what's funny, man? It's something about the way your phone even came on. I know
Yeah, you kind of just know it's Larry.
Yeah, like, are you chewing on some shit or something?
I think it's his beard. It's that lice in his beard that's that's jumping around. I think that's what it is.
I beat your fat ass, bitch.
Nah, you wouldn't. Nah, you wouldn't. You can't fight. I'll do you like Errol Spence did Sean Porter, boy.
Nah, he
in the 11th round when he knocked him on his knees. One hit,
okay,
bam.
All right. Well, all right, bitch, whatever.
Well, anyway, man, we talking about your home state. You know, not your home, but the state you live in, Texas, specifically Dallas, and this whole Amber Geiger situation. I know you saw old girl stroking her hair and the judge hugging her. What did you think about that, dog?
Man, look, I'm a Houstonian. Let's just get that shit out the way.
Okay.
I'm Houstonian, so no, it's not the same, man. It was a bunch of coon shit going on. It was coon court from the judge, to the bailiff to
coon court.
From Botham Jean's brother. His dad is a coon. The only one with some nuts is his mama, but his daddy's a whole ass coon. His brother's a coon, and that judge was getting her Clarence Thomas on, huh? Yeah,
man.
Yeah, she was endorsed by the DPD.
And I don't even want to give Mom too much of a pass because she kind of said some cool things in front of black people. Well, what was she saying in front of them boys when they was asking questions? You know what I mean? That's where it count. We all know them. We all know that one brother that when he come around us, yeah, man, fight the power. The system, man, these white motherfuckers ain't shit. You talking all that nonsense, and the minute they go to work, hiya there, Kyle. We don't need people like that running around here. I understand everybody can't be. I know the cost of being militant. I pay it every day, and I understand that it's not something everybody wants to go through. I totally 1,100% respect it.
I don't think all militants need to be obvious, though.
I agree with that.
I like to infiltrate. I
like to.
I move and sneak. I'm like part of the Underground Railroad. You know what I mean? Like,
it's different styles of it,
right?
But what I'm saying is this: don't say you one thing and then
right. totally flip it.
Not only flip it. A lot of people be against black society. Like they be out like just straight up Samboing. Like no, like we all look. You a woman at work. You all know that one that kind of look like Kamala Harris that's smashing the manager or the principal. Come around the darker skinned, the more down to earth black women talking like y'all cool, and then going right back to that manager and saying whatever the fuck they want to say. That's who I'm talking about.
Well, I'm gonna say this. This is a part of this whole story. I think we kind of all definitely agree about the coonality of it all. But but my problem that I want to address, and that I'm talking to black men here, I want to talk about forgiveness in our community.
Okay,
I think that the black community, and of course we're generalizing, thinks that forgiveness means to make your perpetrator comfortable.
Yes.
That's not forgiveness.
Okay.
Forgiveness is just releasing them from the harm that they did to you. Forgiveness can be done in the privacy of your own bedroom. But the black community thinks that forgiveness is a public display of making the person who wronged you comfortable.
Yes.
And then on top of that, when you add in the black community that's underneath the guise of the black church, it's always got to be, not only do I make you comfortable, but I got to give you some evangelism and bring you to Jesus. And I want to be the one. Because at first when I saw him say, can I hug her, please? I was like, this is church right here. You want to hug her and be like, God loves you. Jesus going to come and comfort you. No, she need to go find Jesus in jail like everybody else.
Wow.
like everybody else, go to jail and find Jesus.
He's on the other side of that door.
Let her do it by herself. She got plenty of time to read the entire Bible.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
You know what I mean? But the black church condones that type of behavior.
Well.
I've had so many friends on Facebook post stuff like, she probably told her he probably told her Jesus loves you. And then the judge was like, you ain't gonna out Holy Ghost me.
Let me get my Bible.
I'm about to give you a Bible, and then you can take it with. What in the world? This lady needs to feel the effect of what she's done. What she was experiencing is called guilt. It's a natural human experience.
Well,
feel it.
Again, she about to feel it on the other side of that
Can
door.
you feel it?
I think they're gonna hide her.
They're gonna put her in one of them like
She's gonna be in the suite.
perspective. Yeah,
It's still gonna be hell.
it is because she's gonna be in the hell of her
Go to
thoughts.
jail for 2 days. I'm just saying. I would be miserable.
It's
Yeah.
about to be hell.
Larry, what you think about? I want to hear what you think about what you got to say about forgiveness.
First of all, man, I'm not hugging no bitch that broke my brother's heart, let alone killed him.
Damn.
If you fuck over my brother any kind of way, everybody knows that if you fuck over my brother, I'm done with you. I don't care what you done. I'm done with you. So if you kill him, man, look, I'm not hugging you. I'm plotting on killing you. Like I really am. I'm going to try and kill you. I'm going to kill your mother or your brother, somebody.
Right.
I'm killing somebody. Somebody in your family's got to get it.
Somebody.
I'm going to rape somebody, kill somebody, something, so I can feel, just to make me feel better.
He just said
But
rape.
you're not-
Hopefully it's her, if anybody.
Yeah, of course. So it's going to be her. It's not going to be her brother. It's not going to be her.
I hope it ain't her goddamn brother.
I would like to say
No, I don't get down like you do.
I do not endorse this message. Thank
Larry
you.
goes.
Well, you shouldn't.
Hey, but look though, when he first said I want to meet you, that's what crossed my mind. Like, okay, he just want to meet her to get around her and shit.
So I
he
could
just-
choke her neck or some shit
he
like
could just
that.
slash it real quick. That's what
No,
I
they
thought.
about to be friends, and they're gonna be on an Oprah.
They're gonna be
special.
Facebook friends.
They're gonna be on Oprah special on her release date.
You know it.
I predict 3 years.
And I say 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And here's what I have to say about that. Going off what you were saying, Angel, about forgiveness. Forgiveness is an internal practice. It is to release yourself of anything that may tie you down from meeting your greatest self. That's what forgiveness is. That's
Say
what
it
it's
one
for.
more time. That is what?
Forgiveness is for yourself. It's to release bonds that may tie you down from reaching your highest self. You can't be your best if you let somebody else anchor you down in grief and forgiveness.
Right.
Like they say, Eastern medicine say that's what cancer is. Cancer is not letting go.
It's true.
Cancer is holding on to things. So maybe that's why the church is full of cancer. My thing is this: when it comes to the church, if you're gonna be like that when it comes to the forgiveness, start at home. Forgive that cousin that didn't pay you back that $100 7 years ago. Let it go. You know, if you want to practice forgiveness, if you're gonna do it, if you can't do that, how you gonna forgive somebody who murdered and took a life?
Right.
But you can't forgive somebody that took $100.
Yeah, for your whole life, you
Yes.
holding on to that shit.
If you're gonna forgive, start with we know we got our brothers and sisters out there on drugs, and we know they got problems. How about you forgive? You see them trying to make it better. Don't hold on to what they past is, and when they grow, let them grow. You know what I mean? That's forgiveness. Forgiveness is, you know what I mean. When the person don't pay their tithes, you still help them out with their car note when they come and need some help. That's forgiveness. Let's do that. If you start there and do that, then you want to start talking about forgiving somebody else, I may listen to you. But you don't do that shit at home, so I definitely ain't listen to you when you talking about forgiving somebody else. Because my thing is this: she has forgiveness. People still have to suffer consequences. There's a difference between forgiveness and consequences. Forgiveness shouldn't come in place of consequences. And what what Botham Jean's brother said, he said, I don't even want her to go to jail. Do you hear him say that?
And I feel like, the brother is in, a serious stage of grief and bereavement. And a lot of times at that moment, you say things.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
In that whole stage of grief that you're in, which I think he's probably in the whole, the fluffy part of it. But when Christmas comes, when your brother in there, it's going to be a whole different.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole different thing.
Right. It's going to be a whole nother ball game because grief is, very different. But I just want to say that forgiveness is a very personal individual sport.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's a universal way of doing it. The bottom line is, it's just for you to release the other person or party from the harm that they did to you,
Well,
so that
there
you
you
can
go.
be light and free and love.
Yes.
Just like I forgave all these comments that I heard tonight. I'm just saying.
But look, the word is release, because when you say forgive, that has like a religious connotation to it, because we learned that word and that idea through the religion. You know what I mean? So if you're not like religious and shit, you still need your thing you could do, which is really just releasing, man, letting go of shit.
But also, forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to stop being angry.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing that our community does, is that we feel like, if you forgave, if you're forgiving, then you can't be angry or upset about it. You very well can.
Yes, you can.
You can experience your upset, but I think that's a part too in our community where black men are just not allowed to be publicly angry.
Yeah.
Because the moment that he would have said, I am so angry about what you did to my brother, they would have been like, the angry black man. Would have been 12 bailiffs around him just because he was expressing anger. But it is okay to express anger, and during your bereavement process, that's part of one of the stages of grief. But until we can get to the point where we allow human beings to experience all of their human emotions, then we're going to always think that it has to be some kind of blanket, feel good Mickey Mouse ending. When you say I forgive you.
I agree, because I'm glad you brought that part up as far as forgiveness and anger. You have to. We are all full human beings, and anger is a part of life, and it's a part of it's something that we are. When we have it, you deal with it and you process it, and you use it as fuel to do something. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I find, when you talk about these things, they say, "Well, don't be angry." No, the purpose of the anger is to use it to change things.
Sure.
Like we can change I don't think most people realize we can change our living conditions and change what's going on. We can change the environment around us, and it all starts with changing ourselves and creating whatever reality we want to see.
Yeah.
We all have that power as people, and I think we
and
give
that's
that
not
power
just
to other people.
That's not just a thing to be saying, bro. It is really real, man.
Yeah.
You really can and I'll go one step further. You could create your reality, but the reality you have right now, you created it.
You create whatever reality you're living right now.
Yeah,
you created
it.
That's why, like, we literally can all live in the same world and have different experiences. We can all go to, like I remember last year at the Hollywood Bowl, I went to a concert. Charlie Wilson and the OJs, getting it. Great show. Most people had a good time. Somebody I know, after the show, they came by, and their significant other is the type of person that complains a lot. And all she said was, "Well, I don't think the show was that good." I'm like, "Well, what missing?" He literally played all of his number ones. He played Outstanding. He played the Gap Band hits. He played his hits. Sometimes you go to a concert and they don't play your song. Like, no, he played all of them. So I was like, "So did he not play your song?" She's like, "No, he played the songs, but I don't know. I just didn't have a good time." I said, well, I'm a drummer, so I know tempos. I'm like, well, the tempos were right, the groove was good. Like, what was missing? And I'm thinking to myself, the only thing that was missing was you. You came in with whatever. I didn't say this, but in my head, that's what I'm thinking. Whatever happened, you had made up your mind you were going to experience, not have a great night tonight. And that just goes to show you, a bunch of people can be in one venue, and the experiences range. No different than our experiences here on this earth.
Exactly.
One earth, different experiences, and the experiences that you run across are generally the things that you created for yourself. If people that go around talking about something, oh, I got haters this, haters that. Generally, them is the biggest haters you know.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
But I also think in our culture that they don't teach you to have a lot of leeway and have your own independent experience.
That's very true. We're not taught that.
We all grow up with this whole, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to get a job, you got to do this, you got to get married, you got to go to church, you got to do this, you got to go to Meemaw house on Sundays, you got to do that. We don't get to experience like Meemaw.
Meemaw house.
Meemaw house on Sunday. You know what I mean? You got to help, Tyrone. You got to help. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
It's like these rules of expectations in our culture.
Expectations.
That you literally have to be a breakout artist to do your own thing. To say, I go to the beach on Sunday. Your family will be like, what?
What are you doing? That's what white people do.
Yeah. Or you say, I eat quinoa. What? You know what I mean?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
See, that's what I'm saying.
You're listening to Hotep-ISH with your host, Dewan Brown. And we just had another special guest walk in. Angel, can you please introduce our guest?
Well, our special guest is a screenwriter, an author, and a teacher. She is a dear coworker and friend of mine. Please welcome Stacey McLeod.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Hey. What's up, Stacey? We're gonna get into talking about some other stuff later on, but right now we're talking about the whole Amber Geiger situation and the whole forgiveness thing, and us as a culture. It seems like we don't understand what forgiveness truly is in some ways. You know what I mean? What's your take? I know I'm kind of throwing you in the hot fire, and people, she coming out here, she don't even know what to expect. We just threw her in the fishing pan, and we said fuck it. But if you can act and teach, you smart as hell. So I have to know what you think about the forgiveness side and the whole Amber Geiger situation.
Forgiveness, that's a tricky one. It's definitely important, but I guess to forgive, people have to take it upon them. It's a reflection of you, and so you have to take it upon yourself to want to forgive. And if you don't, then you think it's the other person's fault. But as we know, forgiveness is really about yourself, so you have to take the initiative yourself. And
that's kind of what we're trying to communicate. It's like an internal thing. You know what I mean? It's not something that, it's not this grand old hoopla performance. It's something that you decide. But at the same time, let's talk about the other side of it, Larry, and I'm going to get your opinion first. Let's talk about the other side of it and the perception of what forgiveness does. Because us as a culture, we seem to be the only people that forgive. White folks ain't forgave OJ. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then, you still, talking about, you still got people talking about remember the Alamo. That shit was how many years ago? And so, we seem to be the only people that forgive, and we also seem the people that get the biggest brunt of mistreatment. Is there some kind of correlation between that, Larry?
Absolutely. You know it is. And I'm going to tell you what, we're the most forgiving people. Look, white people better be happy that we are the most forgiving people, because the minute that switch goes off and we're like, man, fuck this forgiveness shit, they're in trouble.
And they know it.
Yeah, and that's why that forgiveness, that whole concept has been forced down our throat. Look, you should forgive. That's in the past. Man, these motherfuckers ain't forgave Nat Turner. The other day. They ain't forgiven him yet. So, man, look, it's a correlation, and they know it. And that's why we're the most forgiving, yet we go through the most shit.
Yeah, I think that there is a correlation between the two.
Well,
and, you know what I mean? And it's not to say, we as a people, it sort of plays against our nature because we are such a forgiving people. We are such a humanitarian people. We're so human.
I'm just softly shaking my head because my theory is a little bit different.
What's your theory?
I feel like black people in America inherently have Stockholm syndrome.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I feel like we just can't see them suffer. We just can't. Remember when Netflix came out with Making a Murderer and the white guy that went to jail? We felt so bad for that little white dude. I was like, it's a billion of us doing it. It's a billion of us in jail.
Yeah.
But it's just that one little white dude. And just like Dave Chappelle said in his special, white people feel like this isn't supposed to be happening to them.
Yeah.
And we buy into that narrative because when, with Stockholm, when you have that capture or whatever around you for so long, you just, by survival instincts, you become endearing, to them. It's like, don't kill him, just don't kill him. You okay, massa? I know you was beating me, but your arm broke. You okay? Let me wrap that up for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like we are descendants, and all of that stress and all of that is just in our molecular structure. It's in our DNA.
I think it is, and I think it's a both and, because that's true. And then we also look at how they conquered this land, took this land. It wasn't that they didn't come through a brute force and guns saying, "Hey, let me get that." No, they came into this shit through treaties. You know, through it was our trust, our humanitarianism. You know what I mean? And that's how look how we do with hip hop. Hip hop is America's #2 export. We give it away partially because we were trained, partially because when we create shit, we be like, here, we got, you got Asians in Vegas doing like the Jabberwockies, doing our dance moves. You know what I mean? We just kind of give shit away and then keep pushing this because we see ourselves and when you read Civilization or Myth by Dr. Sheikh Anta-Diop, he talks about that, or Civilization or Barbarism, either one of his two books, and he talks about who we are as a people and how they understand that scientifically and play on that. So we have that natural instinct, and then 350 years of Stockholm. You have a perfect mixture for, baby, give me a hug even though you killed my brother.
Yep, that's what it is.
So, yeah. I don't want to harp on that too much longer.
Yeah.
Can I ask a
go ahead,
question?
say something, Mike.
I did have a question about forgiveness.
Okay.
How important is it that the person know you forgave them?
Not at all. It's none of their business.
That's a great question. That's a great fucking answer, too.
It's none of their business.
It's none of their business. And that was my whole thing, is that when you forgive someone, it's not to make them comfortable.
There's no contingency with forgiveness. This is something I'm doing for me.
Yeah.
There's no contingency. And so, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
We're about to transition, but before we transition, our Black History Present moment of the day, person of the day, is to Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. She's still alive, and I like to talk about our Black history here on Hotep-ISH, past and present, because we've been the primary inventors and brains behind this country. We weren't just slave labor. We were also the people that started shit and invented shit, from Benjamin Banneker to, to all the different people that we have, George Washington Carver. Today we talk about Shirley Ann Jackson. First Black woman to graduate MIT with an advanced degree. Why am I talking about her? Well, she's the person that invented the technology that gave us call waiting, caller ID, solar cells for solar panels, and fiber optic cables. This woman literally revolutionized the world, and she's living, and we don't know who she is. So I want to bring her out, and I want you guys to look her up. Because what would our world be without fiber optic cables? It wouldn't be no internet or direct TV.
No, it wouldn't.
What would our world be without solar cells? No solar panels, no solar calculator that recharges when you put it on your desk. What would our world be? Y'all remember the life before call waiting?
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all remember it was like, hang the phone up, we got somebody calling at 6:30.
I want to know who her muse were, because it's probably a Black man, and she was like, I can't get through. I'm going to invent something to catch him from cheating on me.
She probably said, all you got to do is switch line number 2 with number 1. Nigga, shit.
Do you remember Earth before the caller ID box?
I do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
See, these kids don't know about the box. Did you have a box in your house? The caller ID box? You didn't have that?
No.
When caller ID first came out, first came out, it was this, you too young for this shit. You was probably in diapers. It was this box. And then when the number came up, most of the time it didn't have a number. It said private. But 1 out of 10 calls had a number.
Yep.
So, yes, there was once a time, kids,
I just
that you
remember
didn't know who was calling.
The surprise of picking up a phone and it's the guy that you was waiting on to call. I missed that. Now I can see it. I'm like, do I want to talk to him? I have time to deliberate. Is he relationship material? I don't know. I got 4 more rings to figure that out.
Yeah.
So, yes. So we salute Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. Look her up, find out more, and add Hotep-ISH to your Facebook page so you can get more information and more history talk and things like that.
That's dope.
Cool. So now, we're here to talk about school.
Let's do it. Let's get into that.
We got 2 teachers in the
Two of them.
Well, I know y'all don't have to name where you teach. Don't do that.
And one ex-teacher.
You're an ex-teacher, Mike? Where did you teach? You see, gone. You can say where you used to
I
teach.
taught in Compton Unified and LA Unified.
Oh.
Oh man, so you went through the ringer.
Yeah. What level were you? Middle,
I was
high?
elementary. I had like 4th grade and 5th grade.
Dope. Yeah.
And I know Larry taught kids like what, elementary school, preschool, dog, or something like that.
Yeah, pre-K kindergarten. Yep,
Okay.
in Stafford. Sure did.
Yeah,
That's dope.
those, yeah. It's good you taught that age because if you taught high schoolers, they beat your ass.
The first graders will too.
True that.
So what grade do you teach?
So I actually walked away from teaching last year.
Oh shit! Ding ding ding!
And wrote a book about it.
However, I'm an educator at heart.
Okay,
So I still
okay.
consider myself a teacher and educator.
Forever.
Yes, forever, exactly. So I've taught 1st through 4th grade.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
I've taught all over the U.S. It's the same issues.
Same
everywhere.
issues everywhere. Lack of funding.
No.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah.
It's a lot of issues.
Yeah,
A lot of us.
the funding don't come
Emotional
first.
issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
There's a lot of issues with our school system and our students and our parents of the students and stuff like that.
Mental health,
Mental
emotional trauma.
And I come from the mental health side of the game. I worked mental health for 10 years and tutored since I was 14. And now I'm an advocate. I have a company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services, and I advocate for resources through the IEP system.
Oh, no.
And that's what I do.
You know, that's my area. I'm sped.
Okay, we got to talk more.
Yeah, I'm sped.
Okay. Angel, yeah, tell them what's SPED?
Okay, special education. I'm a special education teacher, and so I've been doing that for a long time. And I write IEPs, and I test students to see if they qualify for disabilities. The one thing I want to say from my side, because there's so many, you know, as you can see, we have many levels of experience. But one thing that I feel like is one of my major challenges are in our community, we have such denial about learning disabilities.
Oh, my God.
That it is driving me crazy. I hear this all the time. He just lazy. Ma'am, you don't choose to read at the 1st grade level in 6th grade, ma'am. That's
You don't
not,
choose that.
you can't even be that lazy. You
Something
know what I mean?
went wrong.
Osmosis will help you just, you know what I mean, pick up some syllables.
Osmosis will put you at the
Right,
4th grade at least.
or we have the, you know, in our community we have so many being identified who basically because of their home environments are just coming to school showing triggers, and you know their behaviors are not necessarily being you know catered to properly, so then they want to diagnose them with this, that.
Oppositional defiance.
Exactly. ED.
yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's not that he's ED. His dad went to jail and he saw it happen. It's like it's so many types of triggers that are happening, and the
Sometimes
teachers,
he's just hungry.
Yeah, and the teachers are not getting the proper training and information that they need to address students. And by the time they come to me, you know, it's a big old storm, and I'm trying to, you know, put the whole fire out.
My sister's a teacher. She once told me that she told me that last year at her school, she never met the special education coordinator at all, like once.
Wow.
And like she had children in her class that had IEPs, and she didn't know.
Wow.
And she didn't find out to a parent-teacher conference when thank God the parent came, because half these parents don't show up.
Yeah.
Give me what are some reasons you left the school? Like I know like talk to me. I know you ain't there for a reason.
So let me preface this by saying I respect teachers highly. My grandmother was a teacher. I have educators in my family. I personally just got tired of seeing not getting the help, as Angel just said, with supporting these students, because I wanted to help them, but as a teacher, if you have many students, like 5 or more in the same class with severe issues, and you're not really getting help, it becomes difficult. And basically it's teacher trauma. It's secondary traumatic stress, where the teacher unconsciously takes on the student's stress because they're not getting
trauma.
help. Exactly.
And that's something I experienced working on the mental health end. I got to see these children that were being diagnosed that shouldn't have been diagnosed, and then children who needed diagnosis not being properly diagnosed.
Exactly.
And I got to I was reliving a lot of my childhood traumas, because I was a child that, man, my dyslexia was real. And dysgraphia was real. Like when you write something on the board and I write it on the paper, it was a disconnect between the board and the paper, and the teacher be on the third slide, and I'm still on the second sentence of the first slide.
Right.
And I'm thinking that's normal to be on the second sentence when everybody else has done so. And then I'm telling my teacher, and they acting like nothing, like, oh no, you just need to work harder. You know what I mean? And then I started seeing this in the students that I work with, and that shit started messing with me like real bad. To the point to where, like, even at my job now, I'm still technically at my job, but I'm on leave. Because, and it wasn't one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm about to go on leave. I went to my doctor, and she looked in my eyes and said, nigga, take a day off work. Matter of fact, make it as long as you need.
The stress is real.
So people, when it come to your jobs, like, look at them signs. If you start, like, not feeling like yourself, it might be time to change some things up.
I always tell people it starts in the parking lot. When you pull up to the that day that you pull up to that parking lot and go, then that's when it's time. Don't go past that point.
Hey, Larry, you hear that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Past
heard
that
it.
point.
Hey, that's game right there.
That's for any job, though.
That's
Right.
true. Cause like when I come here to do something like this, I love doing my radio.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, let's go, let's talk about it.
Yeah, you
know
ain't
what I
never
mean?
pulled up like that,
I
right?
ain't never when I do Mike's radio show on Tuesdays, it's like let's have some fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And even now, my company, when I do an IAP through Breakthrough, man, it's like let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm about to get these
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
But also, I found that, as teachers, because many of us come through districts where they have that pay grid, to me, it was better for me, a better fit to go to charter where I can negotiate my salaries.
Yeah.
Because I want to be paid and compensated for what I'm bringing
Yeah.
to the table that was not covered
Yeah.
under my credential program. You see what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because when you have, Stacy and I work together, so I was in her classroom a lot. Because her kids, that was traumatic.
Yeah.
You got desks flying. These are first graders.
I'm-
Cuss words.
Throwing punches.
Fighting,
Yes.
biting,
they don't like
climbing walls, running away. It's a lot for
And
8 hours.
I know. Do y'all remember that story last year that this black teacher beating his kids behind in class?
I sent money.
Me too. I sent money too.
$15.
You know,
His GoFundMe.
you know the thing about that. I know that that teacher. I know that guy. I know the teacher.
You know him?
He's a musician I used to play with in the church band, and I've been knowing him since I was. Matter of fact, I met him when I was 15, so I was a teenager when I met him, and so I know how he relates to teenagers through experience. And then I worked with him in the music when I was in my mid-20s, so I've seen him as a child and also as an adult. When I tell you, one the kindest souls you'll ever meet, very quiet. But sometimes you can get to your wits' end.
Well, time out though, Dwan. You have to believe in spanking. See, I don't believe in spanking.
I don't
That's
believe-
me. But if
I don't
you believe in spanking,
I believe that sometimes people, the best of people,
well,
you get them on the wrong day.
Right, but if you ask them the question, some people believe in spanking. So
Yeah.
if you believe in spanking, a kid is going to push you to the point of wherever your no return is.
Yeah.
So in public school, if
Can't
you
do
believe
it.
in spanking, you got to kind of brainwash yourself to pipe down because you're going to eventually grab somebody's
Hey,
kid
look.
subconsciously.
For real though, when I was in Compton, right, when I first started, and I was like 22 years old, right, them fools they ate me alive, right? Like I was not prepared for what was going down, so I
Right.
literally resorted to like grabbing their collars, slanging them around, you know what I mean? And it was like not cool. Like I think about it a lot. Like somebody gonna approach me one day,
Right.
like nigga, remember me?
Right.
Because I just I
That's
just
what
could
you
not
know.
handle it. I didn't understand the consistency that you need, and
Yes.
you gotta like say what you mean and
Yes.
mean it, and do that shit the next day, the next day, the
Yes.
next day, the next
Yes.
day.
You made a
And-
good point, Angel, because I don't believe in spanking, but I do believe in clowning. So I clowned the shit out of a couple of my kids. Probably a little bit too far. You know what I mean? I was one kid he was talking all kind of shit. I said, yeah, nigga. You don't listen
Well,
to me, you're going to end up like your motherfucking mama.
Well, I would say my secret weapon is, because I've been in the game 20 years, and my students to this day, I have parents calling me to tell on their kid. My thing is, I allow you to be who you are today.
Yeah.
And I'll look at you in your eyes and say, you don't have it.
Yeah.
Put that book up.
Uh-huh.
Put your head down. I'm not going to force and fight you to do something you can't do today.
Yeah.
Right now at this moment. You don't have it.
And that's the thing, you have to control, like, as someone that works with children. I work in mental health, and I work with the highest levels of severe cases. I mean, kids that are just truly fetal alcohol syndrome
Yeah.
and don't know how to calm down. If they wanted to calm down, they don't have the tools to do it. And I found that working with children, and also I'm also a basketball coach. I coach, so I've done it on different levels. I find when you approach them with respect, that same respect that you have with an adult or anyone else, they feel you. Yeah. Because our parents, that generation, come from the you mind yourself and you listen. Yep. You listen. Yep. You don't talk no opinion, just listen. Them days is over with, homie.
Like, but I feel like the trauma for me being spanked in school is still with me. Ooh. You know what I mean? Because a lot of those teachers were giving out frustrations. They were Georgia, just giving, they were just taking out frustrations about that argument they had with their husband.
Hey, Larry, you ever get spanked in school, dog?
Not at school. Never.
Oh, yeah.
I had the ruler on my hand. That's the most I got.
Oh, no. I got that a lot.
Wait a minute. Do you mean by a parent or do you mean by teachers?
By teachers.
Oh, hell yeah.
What were you doing?
That's what I'm saying. I come from the old school where they'll say, the bathroom too loud. Everybody line up. And then we all got, and then my mom with her, you know, she didn't know no better. She gave me what she had. My mama said, if they whip you, I better not find out because I'm going to whip you again when you get home. So I was too afraid to tell her when they went too far.
That was me too. Cause I got my mouth washed out with soap and shit, and I never told my moms because I was too scared. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
literally.
Because as children, you don't know. And then like right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to humble those kids that we have, tell them stuff like, "You brilliant. You're amazing." They'll break out crying. You can do anything you want to do in this world. Why would you sit here and embarrass me like this when I'm coming for you to help you be who you can be? They do not want to disappoint you when they know
There's too much pressure. There's too much pressure.
Larry, what would you tell them kids, Larry?
Man, look, I'm not gonna tell the class that I spent the night at your house last night, but if you keep fucking up, I'm gonna tell everybody much of a hoe your mama is.
It's always.
Hey, we got a bunch of artists in here. I'm gonna ask the same question to everybody. I'm gonna start with you, Mike, and I want everybody to answer the same question. How did you flip what you've experienced as a teacher, as an educator, into your art, into your artistry? Have you flipped any of it into it? And if you have, how? Like, what way?
You know, man, I don't really know that so much that I can answer immediately this second. But to me, it's the other way around. Okay. I flipped so much of my artistry into teaching when I was teaching. Okay. It was like with everything, doing plays, doing presentations, what my boards look like, what my everything, how we got out on the playground and everything, man. So I was really big into art and what it meant and everything like that. So I did it that way.
Well, for me, because I saw the issues, I didn't really know how to express myself as a teacher. And so about 10 years ago, I thought, well, maybe if I go into ed policy or law consulting, that might help. So I went to law school, graduated, and then realized this is not, I need change to happen faster. So I went back in the classroom, and then that propelled me more because I still saw issues. And so I was like, okay, the law's not going to work. I don't want to be an education professor. Nothing wrong with that, but that's just not me. How can I express myself? And I used to think when I would see fights at school, I would be like, my family needs to see this because they don't believe me. They would think, they're like, oh, those kids aren't that bad. And I'm like, no, you need to see it. I'd want to record them with my cell phone.
Right.
So I'm like, if I could record, I didn't record them with my cell phone, but if I had, I was like, oh, I should make a film about this. So that's what started my going into film and screenwriting. Okay,
so yeah, you saw a need that needed to be met. Right. And then so you found a way to express that through a way that people can digest what's going on.
Yeah, I want them to see.
That's some cold. To
see it. Right.
Man, she cold. Went to law school and said, I'm about to make a film about this shit.
Yeah, this is gonna be dope too.
And I want to know Angel, because Angel, she be saying shit on stage that be killing me. So I want to know this. I need to know your process, Angel. You funny as hell.
I think what helps me is that as a comedian and as a teacher is I have the ability to read the room really quickly.
Okay.
I can go into a classroom for the first time and know, okay, this is that group. or the overachievers, or a mixed group, or we don't speak English very well. Can you slow down? Or you know what I mean? Like I can kind of read the room really quickly with parents as well. Like, okay, these are the helicopter parents. This one's meticulous. This one don't care. I gotta, you know what I mean? So as a comedian, when I get on stage, you know, one of my goals is that I work all rooms, all Latino, all white, all whatever, and you have to be able to read them really quickly to know how to intro your material and then go ahead and connect with them. So that's my secret weapon.
Okay. Larry,
what about you?
Me, okay. I haven't talked much about like my experiences at work through school because it's so traumatic. I don't on stage. I totally separate the mental health game with comedy. I can't conflate the two.
Got it.
Now that I've been out of it for a little bit, and the longer I get away from it, at some point I'll bring it in.
Yeah.
But it's been so traumatic for me. It's like I don't even want to think about it long enough to even make it funny.
Yeah, it's too close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say how my experience, my style of teaching is comes from the debate format because my major was comm studies and public speaking. And I was on the debate team. And so when I give my information, I'm giving it already trying to use little to no fallacy as possible, you know, and I'm giving it with your rebuttals already in mind. And that's sort of how I deliver my comedy.
Gotcha.
I'm sort of on stage talking shit. I'm thinking about I know what I want to say, and I'm thinking about whatever, and I'll go on Facebook and say some shit. And then based off how people are responding, I'll know how to approach that, like you said, based on the crowd.
Right.
You can read a room.
You can read the room.
Okay, this is a conservative crowd. This is an uptight, like, crowd. This is a, like, ignorant crowd.
I just want to also mention that superpower I have of reading the room does not work well on dates. As soon as he sit down, I'll be like, I know what this about.
Larry, how does your artistry integrate with your work style?
You mean my teaching style?
Teaching style, work style, any of that shit.
Well, I'm gonna use something from my teaching days. I told you this. I fucked so many of those kids' mothers. Like I really did. And so, no, I'm serious, because I was the only man that a lot of those kids saw. So, you know, those women saw, oh, my son loves you, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I love you too. So I'll invite a lot. I'll invite a lot of them to shows. You know, and they come and written jokes about them, and that's how I mean, you know, y'all had a bunch of fancy ass answers and shit. I didn't. I just invite a lot of the single mothers of the children I used to teach. I invite them to shows.
Well, this is R. Kelly-ish. I mean, they just of age.
No, it's not the kids. It's the mama. So it's
that's what I'm saying. The mama. She of age, but it's still real predatory. You know what I mean?
No. Here's why I say you can't call it predatory, because I've never been a savage like Larry when it comes to it. But I'm going back to my coaching days. When I used to coach, man, parents be making this. They want their kids to play by any means necessary. Some of these moms, that shit's not funny. You know what I mean? And the levels that people go to for a little bit of playing time for their kids, you'd be surprised. And for those who are willing to indulge, it's very easy. You don't have to work hard.
Well,
as a matter of fact,
did that.
It could be a little more work to avoid these motherfuckers.
And
what did you say?
I said Forrest Gump mama did that. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
We done seen that.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, especially them Vegas tournaments, parents be wild and loosey-goosey. Like, oh, shit, my son had 10 points tonight. Thank you for putting him in the game, coach.
Hey, look, I did have another teacher that kind of tried to get at me in the classroom one day, like after school. And it was a trip.
It's just certain things. Yeah, when human behavior is funny behind closed doors. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? So I understand where Larry's coming from. You know what I mean? But you know, you were single, so I ain't judging. You know what I mean? But anyway, we about to end the show because we don't have much time left. I need to know, what do you have going on? Who am I going to start with? I'm going to start with you, Larry, on the phone. What do you have going on next?
October 27th, I'm at the Houston Improv.
Okay, what's up?
I'm going to be, I can't remember the date, but I'm in Dallas couple days before that at the Addison Improv. So if y'all listening in Houston and Dallas, buy some damn tickets and come see me. Shit.
Mike, what you got?
Follow me at King Mike Boogie on Instagram and Twitter. And my show is Mike Robertson Boulevard, Tuesday nights at 8:30 on Morris Media Studios, also YouTube and Facebook. And I am just trying to hit some stages, as many as possible.
Okay. Tell them about your project, please. I need to know about this. And everything else you got going.
Project?
No, you said
script.
The script.
Yeah, so it's...
It's in the making?
Yes, so
Okay.
I just completed it, actually. I'm working with the screenwriting coach. It's my first script. And so now I'm just editing and cutting and try to make it even better. I have a show called Teacher Talks on Tribe Family Channel.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so our next show is Monday, October 14th. I'll be talking to a social worker. And my book is called School Dismissed, Walking Away from Teaching. I'm Stacey McClam. My Instagram and Twitter, Educator Film Law. Facebook, Stacey Educator Film Law.
Say it one more time. Educator
Film Law.
And Angel, what's up?
I'm always at the Comedy Union. Y'all find me angel.gains on Instagram.
Okay, and I am Dewan Brown. Follow me at Dewan B on Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, and YouTube. It's all Dewan B. Thank y'all for listening. And remember this, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. If you're willing to listen. We out.